Welcome to our Thursday Night Live demo. I'm here at the Foreman Fun House with all of our Foreman's foodies. Tonight we are doing lazy lasagna soup or chili, depending on what is your favorite name. So, like I said last week, this is a really old recipe. The card actually says 2004 on it, and when you search for it on the website, it should come up. But I'm going to post it after tonight's video is over so that you can have a copy of it. So first off, I went ahead and jumped the gun a little bit on the pasta and boiled the pasta before you guys all got on. So I'll show you that in a minute. I have the burner off, but I just, the meat is sitting over in the burner until I'm done with our onion and garlic. So I'm going to show you guys that, and then we're going to get started. This recipe is really fast, comes together beautifully, and that's why, like, I just love fast and easy dinners because, you know, we're a pretty busy family between what the kids have going on, between what I've got going on. If I just don't feel like cooking, I just want something really easy. So this is one of those recipes that's just really easy, and the kids have been asking all day, when are you making lazy lasagna? When are you making lazy lasagna? So here is finally lazy lasagna. So first let's angle down the camera, or we might have to rotate this down so they can see what is going on the island. So my cameraman set up everything here, and Mia, I may have you come steady this. All right, so while I do the onion, I want you to come stand over here and just make sure this doesn't fall straight down, okay? All right, so we're gonna get ready and do our onion first. This is a piece of our color-coded knives. So about a year, I guess it was last spring, we introduced all the green knives went away, and now each knife has a different color. So the utility knife stayed a greenish color. It's a little bit more limey than our previous one, but this is the 5-inch utility. It's actually the knife that's free this month when you spend $75. So it's been a pretty hot little ticket here. So I've got a pretty big onion here, and we're only going to need about half of it. So what I'm going to do is cut half of it and put the other half in the fridge. So I'm just going to set this half aside, and then we're going to use this half. So again, this is what I did last week, is I kind of put a slit in the outside layer there so I can peel that layer off. And I'm going to put that in my trash bowl here, and I'm going to cut this end off to get that out of there, and all that paper stuff that's on the onion, the peel there. I am going to go ahead and cut this into quarters so that we can get it into our handy dandy manual food processor. So I love my manual food processor. We're going to do our onions and peppers in here. This baby got used last weekend for a fresh pico-like salsa. And so now we're going to do some onion. So hopefully you guys can't smell that, but onion, you know, has a pretty strong flavor. So here we go. So even though we don't really love onion, we love the flavor that it produces. So that was a couple quick pulses right there. That's half an onion. We can do a couple more if we want. And then we're going to do our garlic too. So with this, I'm just going to scrape off the rest of the onion. Right, probably you guys can see it. I'm just going to scrape off the onion right there. This piece you don't plunge in the sink. You just kind of hand wash that off over your sink there. Alright, so there's our onion. I'm just going to go ahead for simplicity's sake and press the garlic right in there. Mia was rereading the garlic, or the recipe for me, and said it's just 2 of those, right? Like, not the whole thing. I'm like, right, this is just 2 cloves of garlic. So we're going to squeeze his little brains out. I'm going to use the butt of my knife because my cleaning tool, I think, is in my dishwasher still. Alright, so get rid of that peel. Again, we're going to put a second one in there. This works really well for Play-Doh. I've been taking this to a lot of my fall craft events that I was doing, and along with the cookie cutters in Play-Doh, the garlic press works great for Play-Doh. Another thing I love about this is that if your hands smell like mine do, very garlicky and oniony after you touch these things, you can rub it on this underneath the cold water in the sink, and it takes the smell out because it's stainless steel. Now, when I do put this in my dishwasher, I do open it up so that it can get in the dishwasher and get cleaned up in there. Occasionally, if this has not been cleaned really well, there'll be some garlic left over. So Not that I recommend that for leftovers, but all right. So onion and garlic, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna carry the tripod. So Mia, you're gonna be very careful and angle that up, and then carry the whole tripod over here so that we can get a picture of our all-purpose pot. All right, perfect. So you might have to turn that like we did last week. Yeah, okay, so perfect. Okay, here is our all-purpose pot. So this is one of my newer favorite pieces of cookware because I never really loved a stock pot. I was like, it's too tall. I don't know what to do with it. But with this one, it's wider. It's a 12-inch diameter, so it's like our 12-inch skillet, but it has a taller side, and it's got about a 7.5 quart capacity. So I love this for doing one-pot meals. So I've already boiled the pasta in here. I did the whole box of pasta, and it's sitting here in our stainless steel colander set. To go, the kids decided they wanted corkscrewy type pasta with this dish, so that's what we're doing. It was one whole box that we boiled in there. All right, so I'm going to turn our burner on. Let's do our medium heat for right now while we get this going. And then I'm going to break it up before I add my garlic and onion in. I'm trying to do this with... All right, so we'll move that around. All right, so they've got a pretty good view there. And then I'm going to add in my garlic and onion. And of course, grab one of my Baywatch babes because, you know, I love cooking with our mix and scrapers. And so I can get all the garlic and onion out of here right into our all-purpose pot there. All right, so we'll just put that right there. All right, so let's see if we can bring them a little closer. All right, so you just got to make sure that you hold the tripod just a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, so I got this on a medium heat, browning our sausage with our onion and our garlic. So super simple. All right, so if you're on right now, tell me some things you can envision making in this all-purpose pot with a 7.5 quart capacity with a 12-inch diameter. What are some things that you would do at home with this recipe? All right, let's see. I can't see where the comments go. Oh, there we go. Okay, so anybody want to pipe up and tell us what you would cook while I brown this sausage? What do you think, Mia? What are some other things we made in here? Remember that one birthday? What did we make in here?
We made shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie, and it was like 3 pounds or 5 pounds, one of the two, of ground beef, and like 5 pounds of potatoes, and I did all the meat on top. And then we put the whole thing in the oven afterwards because actually I think I boiled the potatoes in here first and then cooked the meat. But because it can hold so much, that was what we had for family dinner one night when we had over like 8 or 9 people for Mia's birthday one year because that was her request, is that she wanted shepherd's pie.
Yum.
What else have we cooked in here? 2-bean chicken chili is another really good one. We did a pasta dish that the 12-inch steamer fits on top right inside here. So the recipe calls to do the spaghetti pasta mix down inside here, and then you put the steamer on and you make little turkey meatballs, and you let it steam in the steamer while this is all cooking below. So it is, again, a one-pot meal that you can do using just this pot. But you had your pasta sauce going on down here, and then your meatballs done up top. We actually did that at a show a couple months ago, and it was really, really good. One of my other favorites is the grilled chicken Tuscan pasta that we did in here. That was really, really good. That has some heavy whipping cream, some chicken broth. Of course, onion and garlic. The pasta is cooked in it. You add in some spinach towards the end. There's bacon and chicken. Oh, it's really, really good. All right, so let's see. Is that the new cookware? No, this is not new. This is what is currently in the catalog. This is the catalog. We won't know new products until March 1. So that's how our season goes, is new products are September 1 and March 1. So we've got some people saying that they would make soup and stew, and some spaghetti sauce. Yeah. But yeah, all that stuff would be really good in this pot. All right, So when I use my mix and chop, especially with sausage, my mix and chop it gets stuck on there. So that's why you hear me kind of banging it, tapping it on the side to get those big chunks off. And then it kind of cooks down in there. So it's just that sausage seems to be stickier than when you do ground beef. And we like spicy Italian sausage. So this is the hot Italian sausage versus the sweet or mild. Let's see. I've also done, I had someone tell me that their husband, they came downstairs, their husband was cooking them dinner. Or no, I'm sorry, cooking them breakfast. And he was doing like 4 scrambled eggs in here. And she's like, why the heck do you have a pot that big to do 4 scrambled eggs? He goes, because when I whip it like this, it doesn't come out the sides because the sides are nice and tall. And I was like, oh, good point. So I've been using this a lot to do ground beef and such because it just has that nice tall sides. And I don't have to worry about stuff getting over on my stovetop. All right, so our sausage is almost done. As you can see, it's pretty brown. I can see a little pink on my end. So how do you get your stir and mix clean? Okay, so the mix and chop, once I get the food off of it like that, this is dishwasher safe. However, I just have a habit of rinsing everything before I put it in the dishwasher. I use our dual edge cleaning brush. So this little guy goes right into the curve of each of the of the star, and then if I need to, I'll get abrasive with one of these before I put it in the dishwasher. But that's how I clean it. It is dishwasher safe because it is nylon. It's safe to like, I don't know, like 500 or 600 degrees. I can't remember. I know our scrapers are like 600 because they're silicone. I just can't remember what nylon is off the top of my head. Now with our cookware, you could put this in the oven. This is safe in the oven up to 400 degrees. So that's why I love doing the shepherd's pie in here because I can get a really big one going and then the whole family can eat, and we really like leftovers. So, all right, so that looks pretty good. So I'm going to show you guys. There's our sausage, onion, and garlic mixture. Mia, doesn't that smell good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so it doesn't have that much grease, but this is just kind of a habit I do is I take a paper towel with my mix and chop and I try to get some of the grease out. There's not a lot with this sausage. I would not do this with like a big thing of ground beef just because there's more drippings than that. But with this sausage, I just kind of take my paper towel and I go down in there and then I can just get rid of that. All right, so next up we're going to put our liquid ingredients. 1 cup of water. All right, and then we're going to do, now our broth says to do 2 cans, which comes out to like about 29 ounces. This is 32. I am not going to waste 3 ounces of broth. I'm going to put it all in there. So I'm going to reserve a little bit though. Hold on. So I'm going to put most of this down in here. I just don't want my sausage to like get angry that I don't have any liquid in there. All right, so got some of that in there. Next up is our tomato sauce. So I buy this sauce by the case at Sam's Club or BJ's or whatever, just because it's just easier, or when they're $1 or whatever at Kroger. So I actually had a phone call today from Sue, who was using this can opener. She had the older Pampered Chef can opener at her daughter's house and could not remember how to use this one. So let's give a quick lesson. Goes on like a helicopter. All right, so it goes on from the side and then you twist it. When you can pick it up, that's when you know you get a nice solid hold on it. So you're going to go all the way around. You're kind of watching that can go around. You're going to feel it pop or give a little bit when it gets back to the starting point. Mia, did you hear that?
Yeah.
All right, to get that can off, this is what she called me. She could not figure out, you need to hold your hand still because you're rocking that, is to go ahead and turn it the opposite direction and it comes right off. All right, then you're going to use your little birdie beak, okay, and you're going to get the, you see the little birdie beak, to get this can off. So we're going to take this. All right, and pour that in there. All right, and then we're going to do the other can. Again, you're going to feel it give when it gets back to the starting point, you go the opposite direction and it releases, use the birdie beak, and then pour this. So this is the reason why I reserved the broth, is because then I'm going to take the broth and put a little bit in each of these cans. Same thing I would do if I was using a jar. I will swirl it around to make sure I get all of that, and then we'll put the rest in here. Alright, so that goes in there. Do a little swirl. Alright, get the rest of that sauce out of there. Again, swirl.
That would have been a big waste of sauce if we didn't do that.
Yeah, so now that my can is all clean because I used the broth to clean it out. You could also have used the water because it does have a cup of water. So get that out of my way. Alright, so now let's look at the recipe and make sure we are where we need to be. So it says, we forgot the zucchini at the store, so we're doing this without zucchini. But we are doing, we chopped the onion, we added our sausage, and brown that. We added our onion and garlic in there. Cook until there's no longer pink. Okay, we did that, and we drained. We added our spaghetti sauce, our broth, our water. Bring to a boil, and then you add in your pasta, and you cook for 7 minutes. Now, we did our pasta separate, so what I'm going to do is just let this simmer a little bit, let these flavors marry up a little bit. I was making sure I got all the onions and then the spices from the sausage off my side. And so there you can kind of see it's very soupy because I did use more liquid than it calls for because I wasn't going to leave 3 ounces left in the container. Okay, so you're going to let this simmer. Towards the end is when you would add your zucchini, and then you would add a little basil and serve it up. So because I don't have any basil, my plant died in all these snowstorms, I'm going to use the sweet basil rub and just give it a nice little sprinkle for some flavoring, okay? So there's our sweet basil, and our soup is going to marry up. And then what I have the kids do is put their pasta in their bowl and then ladle this over top of it. Because if you've ever put pasta like in a soup in the refrigerator overnight and eat it the next day, it absorbs all the liquid and this pasta gets kind of like mealy, as my mom would say. Like it just is kind of, I don't know. Soggy. Yeah, it's too soggy. So that's why I like to keep my pasta separate with this dish. But if I had enough people tonight to eat all of this, I would follow the directions and go ahead and cook the pasta in here. But since there's only 3 of us tonight, I'm just doing it this way. So hopefully that gave you a couple dinner ideas for you with our lazy lasagna soup. I am gonna, like I said, post the video, and I know some of them y'all want to see Mia. So Mia, you want to pop on and here, I'll pop this up. There you go. Hi. So Mia had a snow day today, and oh my gosh, you have to go back to school tomorrow. So I don't know, Mia, what do you have to say about snow days and lazy lasagna soup?
Next week it's going to be really bad for me because next week we're going to have like no half days and like no days canceled.
You'll have to go to school for 5 whole days?
I know.
Oh my gosh, 5 whole days. Mary says, hi, Mia.
Hi.
Okay, so I'll take a picture of the final product since we're using curly Q noodles. It's something new for this recipe. Not that it tastes any different, but it does make it look a little different. And then we're going to put fresh Parmesan on top. And so what tool do we use for Parmesan, Mia?
The coarse cheese grater.
All right, why don't you show them real quick how to open that? That's a question I get a lot at shows.
So what I do
Hold it up.
is I place my 2 fingers right here. Then I just move that. Do you see how it moves?
There's a spring in here.
Yeah. And
Hold
then
it
I
up,
just
they
lift
can't
it
see.
up. And then I just lift it up.
All right, so if you didn't catch that, this is not a magical button, okay, on either side. It is, but there is a little teeny inscribed picture right here that shows you that you pull it this way, so there's a spring in there. So you figure out how to get this unlocked, okay? So you could do TP, all right, you could do flat, and then that is how you're gonna do your hard cheeses. All right, grab the bowl of Parmesan that's in the fridge. We can show them how it looks like. So I love that you can do the whole, do a whole bar like this. Now this is for your hard cheeses, your chocolates, your nutmeg, cinnamon. Okay, so you can kind of see our Parmesan here is like snowflakes. It is like so thin. So perfect for this recipe. soft or hard cheeses just like that. But you're going to use your fine grater for that. Your coarse grater, okay, you can put that back in the fridge. Which, of course, is in my Pampered Chef kit in the other room. But the coarse grater is the same design, okay? So again, put your finger right here and just pull that back and forth. All right, so give yourself some practice when you get this. So then when you pull it, you can rotate it. The coarse grater is the exact same design. However, this section here has bigger holes. So that is going to be for your softer cheeses like your Monterey, your pepper jack, things like that. So Mary, what do you say you need? You need the mix and chop. That's what it's called, the mix and chop. So here's the one we had out in May. So you can kind of see the design a little bit better without any food on it. But it's got it's like a star. You can see the nice beveled edges on there. And it's all, the one that is currently in the catalog is all black. This just happens to be the one that we had out last year for our Help With Cancer campaign. But I absolutely love this. I would recommend this to anyone. This is like one of those things like Oprah's favorite things. Everyone needs one of these, okay? So if you don't have one, you need one. If you have one and you know someone who doesn't, you need to get them one, okay? Yes, you can get it at Jen's party, the mix and chop. It's just that, where did I put mine in the sink already?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, mine's in the sink. So it's all black, but that's what it looks like. Oh no, it's right here.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the mix and chop. It's got food on it. All right, so Mia's job is to wash dishes, and then she, like I said, is going to use the dual edge cleaning brush. This is what I threatened Drew with today, that if he did not behave, I'm going to make him clean my entire kitchen floor with this. Not this one, a different one, because I don't want this on my floor and then in my kitchen dishes, okay? So rest assured. But I love the dual edge cleaning brush. And you need one, you need one for your bathroom too. It's really good to get in the grout. So you might need a couple of these to put in different places in your house. I mean, your husband might want them to wash his tires, you know, if he's doing some detailing of your car or something like that. Like to get in the dash, not the dash, but like the cup holders, this is great, okay? So these little tools they go together, they're buddies. And I hope you enjoyed our lazy lasagna recipe. And so like I said, we're going to share the recipe. We're going to share our final picture of what it looks like when it all comes together. Did anybody notice my apron? All right, so remember I told you guys when you joined my Pampered Chef foodies group that I'm going to show you a little bit on my geeky side. So here is my geeky side showing up right here in my apron. So who can name this character?
I can't.
Not Mia. Anybody but Mia can name it. And I don't have an animal currently named after this character either. So that was a contender though at one point in time. All right, guys. So thank you so much. We're gonna eat this pasta. This lasagna soup. I'm really sorry you can't have any. But if you ever want to come over on a Thursday night when I go live, we can totally make that work. Okay, we love having friends over. So take care and have a good night. Thanks, guys.